Yeah, so it does amaze me how there's so much rubbish about retirement savings. Um, there's nothing wrong with retirement savings and the retirement savings industry in South Africa. The government's not double dipping. The government's not stealing your money. Um, the reason why so few people retire from retirement savings and worldwide and not just in South Africa is because people don't put enough into retirement. But if you graduate from varsity and you are 23 years old and you join a company, you stay with that company for 40 years and you contribute 10% of your salary towards retirement, you're going to retire very comfortably. Every one of my friends that matriculated with me, did a degree and started with the bank and still at the bank are multimillionaires in retirement terms. Yes, and a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't want to be put in a box and the society says we do that. Well, that's fine, but you're still earning a salary, so you still can take the discipline and put away 10% of your money from an early age. If you leave it till 30, 40, 50, that's when you start if you really want to retire off retirement savings, you have to put away 15%, then 20% or 30% because you've left it too late. Some people pay off their house first and then take their whole bond payment and put it towards retirement. Or you start your own business, you invest your own business. Let's say you just wanted to retire, you just wanted to save up something to pay for your medical aid in retirement. So what contribution would you have to put away for every month so that you could get your medical aid premium back every month? You know, that's also a worthwhile calculation to do. And all I'm saying is once you get to the stage where you're going to retire off it, have a look at the life annuity. Second of all, make sure while you're saving up that money in what they call Regulation 28 funds. Okay, so that's not the service provider and that's not the product. That's the actual portfolio where the money grows. It may be called an Ellen Gray Balance Fund. It may be called a 91 Opportunity Fund or a Coronation something or other, or a Momentum Enhancer or a Liberty Balance Tracker, whatever that fund is. Make sure that the exposure into equity and asset, in the equity assets and the offshore assets is correct, because too many people look at retirement as conservative. Oh, it's our last money, so we must be conservative. But while you're saving up, you don't have to be conservative. You actually have to be fairly aggressive in your investing so that you can get the correct returns. You don't make money from putting money into money market for a long time. You don't make money by putting money into income funds for an extended period. You grow your money by putting it into equity and offshore equity for an extended period, so that when at retirement you've received your inflation plus 6% growth. And you need to go and look at it. Even your corporate, don't make the excuse of, oh, I'm not in charge of the corporate. You are in charge of the corporate. You can make member selection on your corporate funds. You can choose more aggressive funds. Don't get tied up about the word aggressive. You want exposure, the correct Regulation 28 exposure, to outperform the market. And unfortunately, we can only go 75% equity and 45% offshore, but you need to try and maximize that. And there's only a couple of us that actually can find the right portfolio, because most portfolios are 28% offshore when you look at a Reg 28 fund. We're trying to we're getting our funds up to at least 36% with maximized equity exposure. The challenge is, as you push up that equity exposure, if you try and push up your offshore exposure, you go over the equity exposure. So we've been able to find a nice balance where clients are getting good returns, inflation plus 6-7%, but that's over a long period of time, and then you've got to just stick it out. But going conservative is not the answer.